Hello guys, welcome to part 1 of 2 of my Arms Warrior guide for 6.0.3, and a lot of you probably weren't expecting this because I don't like arms very much, but I figured I would do it because there are particular fights in Hide Mode that it's really actually very useful for, and that in particular is Bracken Spore and very much Tectus, very much Tectus. And the reason for that is because there's so much cleave damage we can do with an Arms Warrior. And if you go onto like Warcraft logs and stuff like that, you can see that they are topping charts everywhere. As Warrior, it's just Arms Warrior on those particular fights. Not so much Bracken Spore, but definitely Tectus. So if you're one of these, if you're in like a really high progression guild and they're saying, you know, we're struggling with Tectus, we've not got enough damage, chances are you're going to want to go arms. And even if it's just that one fight, you know, you say, right, we're going to go in and do Tectus, I'm going to go spec arms, get my gear, and then I'll come back and I'll do twice as much damage as I was doing before. And it does happen. I went along, streamed it, some of you guys came and watched, and we chatted about it and went through it all, and I would usually pull between 23 and 25k on Tectus as Fury or as Gladiator, but maybe a little bit more, 25 plus. But I pulled like 32 to 35k. It was somewhere between there. It was up and down during the fight, but it was definitely over 30k as arms. And yeah, it's just really useful for particular fights, and that's where we are at the moment. With Mythic, you know, you're going to have to just do the best you can, and if that means going arms for a particular fight, then so be it. So let's get into it. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't particularly like arms and I can't be asked to spend the time on it, but this is part 1, so we're going to look at different things we could do with macros and what we can do with our stats. So stats, you're going to want strength, obviously. You're going to want critical strike mostly. You're going to want multi-strike, so crit and multi, your two top ones. Mastery is pretty much on the same as multi-strike, so don't worry too much about that. And then versatility is better than haste in this one. So again, you're going to want strength, crit, multi-strike, mastery, and then versatility and haste are just right at the bottom there. So cool, stats all out of the way. And then what we got for macros, not a huge amount. With Mortal Strike, we're just going to put Bloodbath and Berserker Rage with it because why not? Just should be used on cooldown anyway. And with my charge, I've got Rend put in there, so when I'm in melee range, I'm obviously not going to charge because I'm too close, so instead I will Rend. Simple as that. So what are we doing? I'm still using Smash, the Smash add-on. I will put a link in the description. It's basically a rotation add-on. It works really well for arms actually, not so much for Fury, it's a little bit wacky, but it's really good for just glimpsing at and going, right, that's what I need to do right now. So you don't have to look at what's on cooldown, look at your rage, see where you are. You're just gonna, if you get lost in your rotation or you have to switch target or something, you know, right, that's the one I've got to do. And yeah, so we're gonna use Smash just as like a little helper and whatnot, but that's fine. So cool, we know what stats we're looking for. We've been over some macros, super nice and quick. I'll see you in the next video where we go over rotation.